Darkness was everywhere. I couldn't breathe, I couldn't speak, I couldn't see. As if everything that I stand for was gone. Knowledge, everything was plain, black and darkness. I was in this ink-like substance. For what it felt like I was drowning, but not dying. Swimming, just ongoing, without no end. Until I arose once more out of the rubbles of my home. For the rubbles that I have obtained, I have returned from the darkness. I have awakened, but the difference was that the home I once knew, Sammy, Angel, narrator, Boris, they were all gone. All that there was rubble on all floors. All I remember was ink rebuilding up in the building, as sinking the building itself as it crumbles down, burying me alive. I don't know what happened to the others, but all I know is that it's been years since then. I've finally can breathe. Of course, after the fall of everyone, Henry, I don't know what happened to him. Something, probably. I don't know what time it is, nor if it's day or night. All I can see is darkness. And spots of light, which I can presume or resume to be the nighttime with stars. I don't know how long I've been asleep for. It's since like years. It feels like years or centuries. From what I know, I can be there for, who knows, many days. I woke up in the rubble as I see that there's no change. As I look to the building that was once my home, nothing but rubble and dust. As I walk past things that I don't know of, things that are unknown to me. Where is everyone? Why can't I remember? As glimpses of the past hit me like a truck. Glimpses of monstrous and aggressive actions that I've done. And seeing that the ones I cared about walked out of the door, but that is all I could have seen. As for the time being, I walked, seeing these light-like substances or items on these pole-like objects. Buildings the size of skyscrapers, instead of being a low 10 feet tall town. As once the town was no more but the small city, as now all I see are giant skyscrapers of buildings, windows everywhere. As I try to walk up and see that when I got up, everything was changed. Vehicles that I don't even know of. Cars, they call them. People with unusual clothing. As if time resumed without me over the years that I've been asleep. Have I been blinded by the dream that there's nothing left? After what happened to, what was his name? Shota Aizawa. All I remember of seeing memories of my past, my true past, And then everything going blank as everything around me starts to crumble and those I love walk out the door. I walk onto the streets and see people with these weird abilities that I don't even know existed. As I'm walking in my sludge-like form, like a slime in a video game, all I did was run, or sludged around, you would say. Eventually I met someone. Oh look, I guess someone has a similar quirk to mine. Hi there, fellow. As I look up at the large, talking, sludge-like monster. Hello, do you know where I am? This is Japan. Now, let's see what body I can take before that freak is here. As my confusion hits, freak, does he mean me or someone else? As he continues to run our direction, as the next seconds I hear, I am here! As the sludge thing that I saw before was now blasted all over the streets. Unknowing of what might happen, as I see, everything just went blank. My strength must have lost a bit. I must have lost a bit of strength since the last time. I don't remember anyone having any type of superpowers or anything. But from what I can tell, a lot of things have changed. And I don't think it's the time that I've been here. From what I can see, a lot of things have changed. As if I was now in the future instead of my present time. I no longer knew of what I once was, nor what I would become. I was no longer the monster that I was since that day everything went down. Of course, until I met a very friendly person. Or more of a music type person. As I was confused and scared, I ran or sludged my way to a store. Any store, in fact. The first one I probably saw, from what I can remember. I ran into the store as the sudden noise rung in my head, like a bell of some sort, ringing as I opened the door, or went through the door, or went through the creases in the door, however you want to say it. Of course, I didn't have my full form, since the ink that once resides in the ink that I was either dried up or, getting evaporated, or just turning into dust from how long it's been. I'm nothing but about a foot tall item. As I walked through, looking through all these CDs that I do recognize. Old CDs that look like they're from my time. Even ones that look new to me. So I looked around. Of course, the intro that I made was, full of black tar, or what I can presume to be tar. The ink that I was encased in wasn't ink anymore. It formed a hard shell on me, from what I can tell, to make some sort of body with my strength. Where am I? Why can't I remember anything? As I heard a voice, the voice of a magician almost. Mom, I'll be going to school now. As the voice that I heard from you came, and I saw a girl running by. As I saw a taller woman. Bye, sweetie. I'll see you when you get out of school. As my confusion hit even harder. as these terms that I've now known have not been, are no longer used, as in cupcake or sugar of any type. The fashion that we've talked is changed since now. As I grow, or more of the lines of I walk up one of those cases, glass cases they called them. Sorry, I knew that was the name, but I'm still regaining some parts of my memories and knowledge. Of course, from what I can tell, I'm me. As I climbed up the case and landed on a shelf, looking over, seeing many musics, titles, words that I somewhat understand. In a little different writing from what I'm used to, but I'm able to read them from the most part. Even though it sounds like a sludged had a couple too much sodas, or more of a soda fizz from what I sounded like. As days went on, as I stayed on the shelf for who knows how long, maybe 3 days. As for the time came, as I was finally found. As the girl that I saw walk out of the store, I believe it was called. Yeah, sorry, my memories are so fuzzy. Of course, after being blasted with the sledge villain, a decent while away, but I mean, yes. I was on the shelf, from what I can remember, before I got hit with a bat. Wait, no, not in that order. What was it? I was sleeping. Someone found me. Tossed me in the trash can. Me scared, knocking over the trash can I was in. And then seeing a girl looking at me with curiosity. Ew, what are you? As the girl was poking me now. As I rejected the harmful touches of poking. Snapping back as she would use her quirk on me, which would fuzz my memory even more. Ow. Ow. As a whispering, echoing, dislodged voice would say, "Are you okay? I'm sorry." As a couple days go by, and I stay in this little, forum talking to this young girl. So, is this your quirk, or is this some type of magic trick? Sorry, dear, this is no musician's game, you would say. This is my real form. I had this since, as long as I can remember, honestly. It's all fuzzy, really. Is that when I met you, Ojiro? Of course, my strength hasn't fully, at all, regained itself. You hit me with, a trash can, and then, what you said, sound frequency, I believe? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that knocked out some of my memories. Of course, I'm very happy that you stopped using it on me, and, I'm here on your hand, or at least free from the garbage that you kind of throw me in. So yeah, that's practically my life from the most part that I can remember so far. Well, that's interesting. So what are you made out of exactly? I'm made out of ink. That is what my purpose was, of course, or related to my purpose. To make others happy and to dance for others. The name I can remember was Bendy the Dancing Demon. Of course, it was either a title or something else. Phrase, meaning, who knows. Getting hit by the sound waves didn't really work, but I mean, I kind of got smashed on the wall. Pretty sure that lost some of my memories on that wall back there. And sorry about that. It's fine. I'm made out of ink, from what I can tell and remember from back then. I'm very old, and don't know how I'm alive, honestly. Hopefully you can help me find my friends, maybe? How old did you say you were? From what I can tell, I would be about more than 300, 500. I'll be about maybe 400 years old, maybe? About 400 years old. Either 300 years old or 5... yeah, you'd be 500... hold up. Quirks were this, so... if quirks were like 2,300, so I mean... yeah, about 500 years, yeah, about 500 years. Or was it? I believe he was... yeah, it was about a 500 years, yeah, from what I can recognize. Sorry to tell you this, bud, but no one can live over 500 years. That's impossible. A normal person's lifespan is like, what, 100? And that's like, if you're extremely lucky. Most people live like to the age of like, what, 60? Mostly. 70? Who knows? With the age of quirks, you can never know. What are these quirks, you call them? Quirks are where they eventually appeared after, you know, a random child started glowing. As Kyokyo Jiro started explaining the entire quirk foundation to Deku. Or Bendy, technically. So I am in the future. Do you think I can at least regain my body? Sure, how do you do that? These, should I tell her that I'm not a crooked individual? She maybe think I'm hallucinating due to she thinking it's a quirk and that I'm not actually 500, I think I should keep it a secret, or at least or at least lead on that, you know, she thinks I'm a crooked individual. I need, ink, please. That's the based form of my body composure. That's mainly what my body's constructed of. Of course, I do need new ink, since the ink is hardening very fastly from how old it was. I was stuck in, like, an ink can, pretty sure. I don't know if I can get ink. I'll determine how much ink do you need? I was about how tall? 5? No. About 6'3", or decently about 6 feet, precisely. Now I was about that height. Well, I don't think I can get you that much ink, but I do know some inks though, and even though they don't, you know, have giant inks, I guess I can make you a little bit bigger, but not by much though, since inks they don't come in, you know, a can. From what you said, they don't come in like a giant can, so I can try to find ink, I guess. I mean, from pencils and whatnot. Or either from pens or just, I guess, casings, maybe? I can try to find them for you. That would be very useful, thank you. As a couple days and hours go by, Well, you're in luck. I actually found 2 cans of paint, or technically ink, but I mean, same difference, right? They can do for now. Even though I won't grow as much, but it's decent. I can probably find the ink on my own. From what I can tell, there is still ink from where I am from. But all of it's dried up. It'll be a while since I can retain myself fully. I guess I have to deal with paint for now. As, you know, the black paint is, you know, Deku goes into the black paint growing in size by about a couple feet. Deku's now 3 feet by now, or the same size as Mineta. Thank you. Of course, my true form isn't really paint, but ink and paint, I guess they mix somewhat. Same purpose, but difference. Of course, this will last me about a month until I completely fade away or just dry up. Thank you for your hospitality for a couple days. Very kindly, Jiro. I can hopefully repay you in your services. As the half, you know, sludge villain or sludge Deku Bendy ink slime thing walks or sludges around, weirdly. As people see this, then just thinking it's some type of, you know, quirked person or something. As people wave to me, hello, how are you? Ink. As days go by, me finding no ink. This is hard. Right as when Deku was about to lose hope, he gets a section of events. Or more of a... If you ever seen one of the stores like paint stores or like those stores that have, you know, any type of like stuff in them, to, you know, ink, to, you know, paint, to like anything liquid, I guess. Any type of liquid, you know, they got it, I guess. This will be perfect. As I walk in. Hello, 5 cans of ink, please. Large, please. That would be $50, please. Oh, here you go. You know you need dollars, right? You don't need coins, you need dollars, right? Oh, don't worry, I got it. As Deku looks behind him, as Jiro has a couple bucks, you know, having dollars in her hands. I got it for you, Bendy. It's fine. You followed me. Of course, you're too small and fragile to leave you alone. You're also very kind as a friend, honestly. Thank you. As Deku grows and grows, kind of buying half of their supply, or, you know, a bit of their, you know, ink supply. Replacing the old parts of him with ink. Or black ink, you will. As Deku starts to grow, as the ink goes to Deku as if sentience or command by it, like a symbiote. Going to Deku, as Deku starts to grow more and more. As, honestly, she had to buy at least 40 to 30 to decent. She had to buy the entire stock of cans, honestly. She does have a decent amount of money on her. She had to buy in like a decent amount of paint. As Deku starts to grow, I can breathe. As first, it was more of a evil Bendy look, and then it became what you see on the screen now. But, you know, without clothes. Thank you, Jiro. It's been a while since I was able to breathe like this. Of course, I don't really need oxygen, but... more of emotion that it feels kind to have a mouth once more. Feels so satisfying now to have a body once more. Thank you. Thank you, honestly. I can't give back what this is. Thank you. I don't know how I can return the favor. Friends help friends, right? Jiro says. Agreed. Now we need to get you some clothes. As you know, Deku notices he has no clothing. I mean, I'm used to having no clothes, so... yeah. Well, that's about to change. Now, come on. We're about to give you to the store. Let's go. Okay. As Jiro brings Deku shopping, as Deku would pick out what you see, you know, in the title. You get about 5 pairs to 3 pairs of these suits. Don't know why you like gray or, you know, white, black so much, but I guess it suits you. Pretty cool. As you know, he, you know, buttons up the sleeves. Well, thank you. My complete voice has returned, so, yeah. Thank you, Jiro. Kyoko Jiro. For your hospitality. Of course, I no longer know what to do now. As you know, there's a, you know, villain versus heroes attack that would happen. As you know, it'll be towards, you know, it'll be that event where, you know, Bakugo and, you know, getting caught by the sledge villain. Or technically, you know, the sledge villain will come once more. Differently. It would have escaped, you know, the custody of, you know, the police after a while. Oh, look, it's the person I met before. Oh, you mean the story? Wait, that's the person you met in the story? Yeah. What, you thought I was lying? I mean... as you know... Hey, don't I know you? As the sludge villain will say. Hello. I believe I was just a itty bitty puddle when you saw me. Hello there, sir. As he bows. Get out of my way. Yeah, as you know, he grabs the girl. Or Jiro, for the fact. Anyone tries to capture me or, you know, attack me. Or, you know, anywhere in this radius. You know, they would, you know, try to, you know, use Jiro as, you know, a meat shield. Or anything. As the heroes will try to help, but will have no, you know, anything to do. As you know, Deku would be confused on what's happening, cause he you know, she said stuff about crooks. She didn't say anything about heroes or villains. So yes. As you know, the you know, heroes started to come. So, as you know, Deku talks. Why are you doing this? As you know, people start to, you know, a person in the crowd tries to explain to you. Heroes try to, you know, save people. It's like, okay, then why are there no heroes here then? To save my friend? None of the heroes here have the ability to do so. Oh, why didn't you act so? That'd be easy. As you know, what would Deku do would kind of, you know, take off the glove and kind of shoot his hand towards, you know, Sludge Villain, as ink would, you know, turn into a giant hand to grab the Sludge Villain, you know, taking out Jiro and, you know, kind of pushing her out the Sludge Villain and kind of slamming the Sludge Villain on the ground. Eventually knocking it out for a temporary amount of time. So yeah. Okay, I need some water real quick. Hold up. Ah, that's better. Okay, let's continue. And what would happen? Everyone would see this as like the heroes would, try to, after the entire event of, Deku just shutting everything down. Like Deku doesn't know, heroes are surrounding him. Is like, hello, heroes. I did nothing wrong. I just saved my young friend. Sorry if I did anything to you. Put your hands behind you. Okay, as you know, Jiro was like, no. He doesn't know the concept of, he's not from, Japan or, America. He's from, a far distance town in an island far away, as you know, trying to make up some type of excuse to, for Deku not to, get accused of vigilanteism. So yeah. Keep your friend in the lock, 'cause he could have gotten in big trouble. Make sure to teach him the right ways, too, young one. That was confusing. As you know, Jiro was like, you can't just do that, Bendy. Why? I saw you in danger and, I tried to save you. Because it's an act of vigilantism, practically. You can get, in jail for that if you use your quirk, But it's technically not a quirk, honestly. This is my body. So, I mean, technically not a quirk. Me just grabbing you out of that's kind of normal to me, honestly. So, yeah. They, talk to each other or argue somewhat of each other. Deku having, blinkless or, actually good claims of, what he's doing. As he tries to say, then if everyone has power, shouldn't they use them, for self-protection? And not, get accused of vigilanteism since, it's out of self-defense? Man, back where I'm from, we don't have these abilities. At least, not all of us. I would live in a town, that would technically count as, it was more of a scenario. Only me and my friends were, technically with quirks, as you say. As everyone else was kind of quirkless in, scenario. And so he explains, 500 years ago. If you're wondering, why you're confused on, Aizawa, like, wasn't Aizawa back then? Yes and no. Technically Aizawa, but was more of Aizawa's ancestor. And, back then when I said, part 2 of, Bendy, I didn't mean to say, he had the, scarf back then. So, yeah. As Deku be very confused and, trying to figure out, what? That's so weird. Why would people not use their abilities for self-defense? That's kind of stupid, honestly. As Deku's, making very good claims, even though he knows nothing about, politics and, what's happening now about hero societies. Which, Jiro's surprised, like, you're a very good speaker when it comes to this type of stuff. Have you been doing this often? No, realistically, I've been doing nothing. Like, have I? It feels natural to me. As you know, technically, does running a business technically sound like? I guess? Some businesses, I guess. As, Bendy or Deku would ask Joe something. I'm guessing the earlobe jacks are your quirk? From what I can say, from what you said and explained to me, it's a mutation of some sort. where you can listen to your heartbeat and use it as attack. Correct. And you have a mutation as well. Even though Deku's ink body isn't really a quirk, but we all know that by now. So yeah. Anyways, yeah. Deku confusingly says more. He gets a good, better understanding on the policy. So yeah. As there would be, a question that piques Deku's interest. I mean, if you don't know exact number of your age, you kind of act like a teen. Or, technically a teen. Or yes. At least a very mature teen from what I can tell. If you wanna, come, I can try to, ask the principal of, UA to kind of, invite you to, the school, if you want to. What is this UA, as Chief Face Plams? You still got I gotta teach you a lot of things. As now, she explains UA, and, besides that, she also explains everything about, the community, society, and practically everything. Giving Deku, just an entire day of, explaining things to Deku. Also, by the way, if you're wondering what happened and, why no one knows about, 500 years ago of the information, that was, what was it called? If you know the Quirk Safety Division with, Lady Nagant's, or, sorry, spoilers first, if you haven't read, the latest, chapters of My Hero, don't, go, skip, 5 minutes of this, or, 20 minutes of this. Warning, spoilers. So the safety division is kind of corrupted, and, kind of lied about everything about the Hero Society. Practically using heroes like, Black Widow. Kill heroes, and, kill heroes that, don't accept, their terms, and practically, kill villains. Without having, them with, judgment or anything, just, make them disappear practically. So practically like a Black Widow back in, her dark, ages when, she used to work for, the organization she used to work for. So that's probably what, the Quirk Safety Division is and, My Hero. As now we go back to the, What If, of course. Also, yeah, by the way, that if you wondered, that's, why no one knows. They, covered it up. Or, technically covered up before, but, of course, when, they found news of, some ink-looking creature, they, dug up some information about 19 decent, 500 years ago, manuscriptures of, a show that, and, not a show, but, an act of, Bendy, Boris, and, all that. Kind of like, ma'am, we have a problem. Or, wait, wasn't, did he die yet? The boss of city, or does the chick take over first? Huh? Male or female? Wait, no, because I believe the dude's still alive till the first arc, until, he kind of dies in the second, or the beginning or end of, the first arc, so. Yeah, about, so, the dude, or technically the ma'am, because the ma'am is, the second boss until he dies by leading the gun, so, I mean, about that. As now, we practically see, sir, we have a problem. We have, speculations that this individual doesn't have a quirk, and, practically getting on, the blacklist, practically, they gotta, get rid of him, or, find more about him, which, try to send agents and whatnot. And I believe Lady Nagant still works for them, so... Yeah. Lady Nagant, we have Lady Nagant. Do you want me to, take him out? If he does any weird things, Lady Nagant, yes, you'll be ordered to take him out if he does anything weirdly. For now, just follow him and make sure he doesn't do anything shady. As you know, Deku would already have a target on his head for one person. So, as you know, you see Bendy and, Jiro kind of sitting in, their house, as you know. It's been like 3 days? Technically 2 days, Deku on the shelf. Wow, I guess they do work fast, because, that all happened like time span of like a day or so. Wow. That was like 2 days and like a day. That's like 3 days. Wow, that's pretty fast. As now, Jiro's parents come home after, a long, trip. Meeting Deku. Thinking, the obvious. Oh, our baby finally has a boyfriend. No, this man's like 500. I'm not doing that now. Technically, I can, do some, pulled strings, and, make this man, technically, people have done it before. So, maybe. I don't really have a ship for this, so, yeah. As there would be, Deku would introduce himself. Hello, I'm Bendy, the Ink Demon. How are you? That's my name. Did I do good? I just know he looks at Jiro. Jiro's like, false plans, false palms. As you can see, he's not really from here. He's a bit away. As they talk and, realize that, Deku's is going to be staying with them for a while. As Deku does, Deku actually decides not to go to UA.